You can chant with me. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Okay, we are going to read Srimad Bhagavatam, 11th canto, 11th verse and 29th. 11th chapter, 11th canto and 29th verse. 29 through 30, 31st, 32 and 33rd verse. Okay, so let me begin this lecture by asking you something. I'll read something and then tell me what kind of devotee he is. So there are three kinds of devotees in this: topmost devotee and middle devotee and first class, second class and third class according to Prabhupada. Uttam Adhikari, Madhyam Adhikari and Kanishta. Or neophyte, middle and super advanced, something like this. Okay, tell me what kind of devotee he is. I'll read. Krishna is telling to Uddhav. Krishna says, a saintly person is merciful and never injure others. Even if others are aggressive, he is tolerant, forgiving towards all living entities. His strength and meaning in life comes from truth itself. He is free from all envy and jealousy. His mind is equal in material happiness and distress. Thus he dedicates his time to the work for welfare of others. His intelligence is never bewildered by material desires. He has controlled his senses. His behavior is always pleasing, never harsh, and always exemplary. He is free from all possessiveness. He never endeavors in ordinary worldly activities. He strictly controls his eating. He therefore always remains peaceful. A saintly person is thoughtful and accepts me as his only shelter. Such a person is very cautious in execution of his devotees, is never subject to superficial transformations, because he is steady, noble, even in distressing situations. He is conquered over his 6 material qualities, namely hunger, thirst, lamentation, illusion, old age and death. He is free from all desires for prestige and offers honors to others. He is expert in Krishna consciousness and therefore never cheats anyone. Okay. What kind of devotee he is? Topmost? Madhyam? Okay, for your surprise, he is not even a new devotee. He is even lower than new devotee. Now this might come as shock to you, but it's like that. Jiva Goswami, he quotes this verse in his Bhakti Sandarbha for devotees who are Mishrit. He's not a pure devotee. He's a mixed devotee. But it doesn't seem like that, no? Because we can't even imagine all these things, what he's at that level. But he's a mixed devotee. Now why Jiva Goswami is quoting these verses and trying to make us understand that you have these kind of qualities, you are not a pure devotee. You're a mixed devotee. Why? Because there's a catch in this. And the catch is, you might have noted that when Krishna is speaking to Uddhav, the first thing he says that my devotee, a saintly person who is my devotee, who is a devotee, he is merciful and never injure the others. No? And then he continues, he is tolerant, happiness, distress and that. And almost at the end or in the middle, he says he is also surrendered to me. So Jiva Goswami says this means Krishna is trying to identify those people here who are having these qualities, but at the same time for them surrender to me is secondary. That's not primary. So you can meet so many saints, so many yogis, and they have all good qualities. They are having all good qualities, and sometimes you feel there's so much light on their face and so much glowing and sense controlled and so much pleasing and so many things. At the same time, in their mind, surrender to Krishna is secondary. For them, good qualities are important more than surrender to God. They cannot leave religious qualities. They cannot leave religious principles or good qualities for Krishna. So this means they are not pure devotees, no? they're more attached to goodness than Krishna. So you can get confused, no? You can get confused because externally you will not come to know whether he is more attached to goodness or Krishna. You will never come to know. So in people, if you see here in this material world, people are good. They go to temple, but for them goodness is first and devotion is secondary, isn't it? It's like that, no? Because if a point comes in their life where they have to serve God, and in the service of God, they will be criticized by public or by people whom they know, they will never choose that path. Isn't it? They'll never choose. Because for them, their prestige, their goodness is more important than Krishna. So there's a problem here. So this kind of person, although he has all good qualities, his senses are controlled, he is thinking of welfare of others, just like jnanis and yogis, still he is not pure devotee because he is giving less importance to bhakti. And what is example for this? Yudhishthira Maharaj, he enacts a pastime to give an example for this kind of person. Krishna says to Yudhishthira, speak. Ashwatthama is that, you know this? Krishna tells to Yudhishthira Maharaj to announce that Ashwatthama is dead. So Yudhishthira says, well, I can't speak a lie. I am Satyavadi. I speak truth and I know religious principles. My name is Dharmaraj. How can I speak? How can I do anything contrary to religious principles? And he denied Krishna. So he's a topmost devotee, or he's not even a new devotee. So by his pastime he showed that no matter how much religious you are, but if you deny God and if you are attached to your religious principles, this is an offense. He did an offense, and for that one day he had to visit hell. One day he had to go to, when he was going through heaven, when he was being taken to heaven, he had to go through hell because he denied God. So that is why this kind of person, he is not a pure devotee. So we should not become confused. We should not judge a person by his good qualities. That's the idea. We should not judge a person by his religious principles and then categorize his topmost. Or you see, this was happening, no? When I asked you a question, what kind of devotee he is, first answer was he's topmost, because we were judging this person by his good qualities, isn't it? Oh, he's controlled senses, he's never bewildered material desires, he's non-jealous, he's merciful. Oh yeah, he's good. But we forgot this point, that no matter he might be good, all religious principles, but he might be attached to these principles more than Krishna, then he is not a devotee. So you have to keep in mind. So this is. So
he may fall into the category of Kanishta.
No, he's a Mishrit Bhakta. He's a Mishrit Bhakta. I'll come to this point. Okay, so he's not a pure devotee, he's Mishrit. Okay, fine. So we should not judge by religious principles and qualities. We should judge a person only by his dedication to God. Bas. That's it. Now, higher than this. Now, this is not pure devotee. He's Mishrit. He's mixed devotee. He's even lower than a new devotee. Because he's doing offense. He might do offense against God, no? A Kanishta, he will never do offense for God. Now, first we'll discuss who is pure devotee. Who is topmost devotee? For him, Krishna says, my devotee is topmost, who is best among all living entities. He has taken complete shelter of my lotus feet. See? First statement he speaks. So, topmost devotee for him, he is more attached to Krishna than religious principles. This is the idea. So, even topmost devotee will have all these qualities. He will have. But the difference between him and a mixed devotee is, mixed devotee is attached to religious principles and he cannot leave it. He can deny God, just like Yudhishthira. But topmost devotee, for him, he will have knowledge of religious principles. It's not that he's ignorant. It's not that he's atheist. He knows everything. But he also knows that for God, I can leave everything. he can leave. He will have no hesitation to sacrifice his goodness, even if it takes to be criticized by people around him. He will have no problems. So a devotee can speak lie for Krishna. Even if other people say, oh, you are not a good person, why you are speaking lies? Well, if it is absolute necessary for service of God, we will do. Who cares for people? No, we don't care for public opinion. So this is a topmost devotee. So that is why you were confused, isn't it? When you heard all these qualities, and you also heard that he has taken shelter of Krishna, you immediately concluded he is a topmost devotee. But no. He can be either topmost or he can be out of devotion, mixed devotee. And how will you know? Not externally you will never come to know. You then have to go inside his mind, his conceptions. And then you have to judge how much he is attached to what. Attachment will categorize him in that particular category. Okay, his topmost and that's his lowermost. Now, what is a devotee in this middle category? Now, there are few devotees who are new and who are madhyam, no? Kanisht and madhyam, who are pure devotees, but who are not so mature as topmost devotees. So, who are these? Like we all. So, as far as we are concerned, we don't have knowledge of religious principles, no? We don't have good qualities. We have not even heard what is dharma. Does anybody knows any book of dharma? Anybody knows it? We have not even heard any book from where we can learn dharma. No? We know Gita, we know Bhagavad, we know Hare Krishna, that's all, finish. And as far as dharma is concerned, for devotees, Sar Dharman Paritajya Mahame Kam Shalnavaja. Leave all dharma and surrender to me. That's okay. So where do we fall? Now, let me ask you this question. We are not topmost devotee. Are we higher than those devotees who are more attached to religious principles, less to Krishna? Or we are lower than them? What do you say?
It depends on our mind.
Like, are we higher than mixed devotees or lower than mixed devotees?
It depends on our mind. What is our purpose to serve Krishna?
No, purpose is to please Krishna. That at least we understand. Why?
Because
Why at least?
Devotion to Krishna.
No, but at least mixed devotees, they have good qualities.
But they do good qualities for their goodness.
Yeah, that's the point.
For their goodness or
Yeah. So, as far as we are concerned, new devotees in Krishna consciousness, at least they are clear, their aim is Krishna. And their aim is to please Krishna. Okay. No matter, they might not have any good quality. They might be just foreign return or something, right from Russia to India. They have never heard what is dharma. They can't even pronounce what is dharma. So, well, what do you say? They are fools? They are nonsense? If you go to South India, if now you take a flight to go to, they'll say they are Malechhas. Fine, let them chant Hare Krishna. But they are nonsense because they have no idea what is religion, what is religious principles. They have no good qualities. Let them go back to Russia. They will criticize them, you people, no. But they are fools. Because no matter we don't have any good quality, but we will never deny Krishna, isn't it? We are only attached to Krishna. We don't have any knowledge of religious principles, that's okay. But at the same time, we will do what Krishna says, isn't it? But that person who is having good qualities, he who is attached to goodness, he will at one point of time deny Krishna, just like Yudhishthira Maharaj, because of his foolish attachment to goodness, isn't it? So he is doing offense. At least we are not doing offense. That's the point. So devotees who are ignorant of religious principles, just like we all, new devotees, we are at least higher than mixed devotees who are having good qualities. So by good qualities you can't really judge, isn't it? Because if you judge by good qualities, then then you might get confused. Then we might do offense against Vaishnavas. So we have to keep in mind. That's why Krishna says, "Api chet suduracharo bhaste mamananeva." Krishna says, I consider him my devotee who is fully surrendered to me, who knows the purpose of surrender. even though he is having no good quality, even though he might be doing some kind of nonsense stuff according to public or people around him, out of habit maybe, but I consider him much higher than those people who are Vedvatrata Partha, who are just attached to religious principles and not to me. So people who are attached to goodness, they are not as good as people who are attached to Krishna fully. No, that's the best goodness. That's the best thing. So that is why devotees who are having no religious principles, no idea of religious principles, no goodness, but at the same time they are having one supreme good quality, they surrender to Krishna. They are much better than those people who are mixed devotees. Much better. But at the same time, we should not think that okay, fine. So we are fully surrendered to God. So now we don't need to know religious principle. That's also wrong. Because who is topmost devotee? Krishna says, who knows about religious principle. He is not ignorant. Who have full knowledge of religious principles. Who knows what is good, what is bad. But at the same time, he is attached to me, and he can sacrifice his goodness to fulfill my will. So if you want to become topmost devotee, you must know religious principles, but at the same time not be attached to it. That's the trick there. Don't become attached to goodness. But nevertheless, be good. Learn what is good and what is bad. And use that goodness to serve Krishna better. But if that goodness comes in way of Krishna, abandon it. That's a topmost devotee. So ISKCON, people are confused. There are one kind of devotees who say, Sar dharman paritajya. You know this verse? No need to understand any dharma, any religion, no need to read Manu Samhita, nothing, and no goodness, no bad, they surrender to Krishna, that's it, finished. But then there's a problem. Well, then you are a new devotee, you are not topmost devotee. And there might be problems. What kind of problems? If you don't understand religious principles are dealing with body and mind. Devotional principles are dealing with soul. So we are following devotional principles, but if we don't follow religious principles, our mind will be disturbed. And if your mind is disturbed, then you can't do devotion nicely. So religious principles helps a devotee to increase his quality of service. That's the idea. So those devotees who are in that camp of Sar Dharman Paritajya, that wrong understanding of Sar Dharman Paritajya, leave everything and just devotion, no understand. Then what will happen with them? They must be respected because they are devotees, they have surrendered to Krishna. But at the same time, they will be disturbed, their mind will be disturbed. And again they'll come to us and they'll say, Prabhu, we cannot do devotion, we cannot advance, our minds are disturbed. Well, it's ought to be, because you're not following the science of mind. You're not following rules and regulations of mind. You don't know. So it will be an hindrance in your devotional life. So we are not in that camp. Neither we are in the camp of those devotees who are fanatic about religious principles. No, you have to follow dharma nicely, and that's important. And they're always talking about religious principles, never talking about Krishna, never talking about pastimes of Krishna, never talking about philosophy of Krishna. Always cleanliness, always religious principles. We are not in that camp also. We are in the middle path. We are talking about Krishna, we are talking about religious principles, but we are talking about religious principle and goodness, not to be religious and not to be good, but to use them to become devotees of Krishna, to use them to enhance our service, to use them to make our mind peaceful, so that we can peacefully serve God. We are in that middle path. This is what we have to understand by this verse, and then it becomes complete. So let me ask you a question. If you don't have anybody has a question, then I'll ask a question. Any question for this? It's clear, no? It's not so much confusing. Okay, my question is, so when Krishna says Sar Dharman Paritajya Mam Ekam Sharanam Praja, what does he mean by that? What do you mean by that? Abandon all religious principles and surrender to me. What are you supposed to do now? After hearing all this lecture, you're supposed to abandon all religious principles. You're supposed to practice. What are you supposed to do?
We're supposed to always keep this goal in our life, whatever we do. Whatever religious we do, we should never forget for what we do, for whom we do.
Okay, so that's why Krishna says abandon all religious principles. Why does he say abandon all religious principles?
His idea is to exclusive devotion.
So after hearing lecture, now you will understand this verse. Now, there are two meanings for this verse, not one. When Krishna says abandon all religious principles and surrender to me, first meaning is abandon all those religious principles which pose a hindrance, which are an obstacle in the path of devotion. This is first meaning. That's okay, no? This makes sense now? All those religious principles which are an obstacle on the path of devotion, abandon those. Now it makes sense. And second meaning is don't abandon attachment to religious principles, not religious principles. Because if I attach to them, then they will be an obstacle on the path of devotion. You will deny me one point or the other. So these are two meanings given by Acharyas, and we should not be confused and use this verse to be ignorant of religious principles and then to boast I am a devotee. That's foolishness. That's absolute foolishness. Because if you do that, then there will be contradiction. Because Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, Dharma Sanstapna Arthaya Sambhavami Yuge Yuge. Krishna says, I come on this planet to establish religious principles, isn't it? And then Krishna says, abandon all religious principles. Is Krishna mad? He's trying to make us mad or what? Then if you interpret that verse like that, there is contradiction. So that is why all acharyas give interpretation of this verse, Sardharan Paritajya, in this way. Either you abandon attachment or you abandon those religious principles which pose an obstacle on the path of devotion. So for Yudhishthir, it was good if he speaks truth. He should always speak truth. He is Dharmaraj. But at that point he should have abandoned his truth. No? When Krishna asked him to speak a lie. That's what Krishna is saying. In this verse, he's trying to make this clear. That's okay. So that's what we have to understand. As far as we are in this material world, we have to follow dharma. Because dharma are the rules concerned with society, social setup, and an individual, achar and vyavhar, your mind and society. And you have to follow that. Otherwise, you can create problems for yourself. That's it. Hare Krishna. Srila Prabhupada ki jai.